Hello everybody and welcome back to Kingsfield for the Ancient City. Last time we read Prince Devian's most cherished thoughts and we have come to the foot of the ancient battleground, sorry. This is essentially the final area of the game. First off though, we have to do a little bit of running and some swimming to get the rest of Mew's armor. Mew's armor is the best in the game, and from the lore, Lord Mew was a warrior of the forest folk, I believe, and he was the one person that the Dark feared due to his ability. So, in response, once Lord Mew passed away, they split up his armor into various locations and sealed it with a very strong dark curse. The only way to undo that curse is by smacking it with the Moonlight Sword. So we're just gonna run and get all the pieces that are above us. We already have the legs, because that was a quick jaunt. It's a bit of a final question of whether you were paying attention or not. We're gonna move our save point up here. I do want to move the last waypoint down to Ancient Battlegrounds, but that'll come in time. So I believe the next one's going to be a big dive. Oh yes, this is what we got last time. The healing amulet keeps a small vial of gold water in it. Alright. Yes, you can see it right there. The ultimate helmet spoken of in legends, designed and forged by the master craftsman. The real test here is how to get the heck out of here. I still have a light crystal I need to pop. So the next bit should be above us with the other gravesite before Northcliff. I believe. Let's go check it out. Isn't there, I'm not sure if there's a way up from here. Alright, then we'll have to port ourselves back up, I guess. This should be gold. And if you are keeping track, because I'm not really, let's go see what the Wall of Magic says we're at. Wall of Magic says we have everything but 3. Which seems About par the course. The graveyard should be right that way. See here. This definitely looked like a bit catacomb, but all the skeletons are awake and meandering about. If you can listen really closely, you can hear the seal around Lord New's armor. In fact, I should change my necklace again. So that's all of the pieces above before the final areas, so let's get back to where we were, which should be green. Not this way. The other one. The other two pieces are in the final area, so we'll be getting those very soon. Prince Devian is looking mighty kingly these days. So as I'm traveling, there was a little bit of discussion on the last video about some of the overarching lore, some questions by one Roz. And this game doesn't make it super explicit until the very end, but it's kind of a layer cake of different peoples. There was the Ancient Ones who worship the dark, and they sealed themselves a la Nulando with water. The water became, well, I don't know if it was the water becoming stagnant first, or it was Serac Rezmach who, in his desperation for the forest folk who were dying, who came after the Ancient Ones, unsealed darkness, looking for a cure for his people. Beyond that, there's actually two kings, a wise king and an unwise king. And one of these kings overcorrected. He worshipped the light for a lot of the same reasons the Ancient Ones worshipped the darkness. Except this faith and love of the light twisted itself into fear of the light. The light became tyrannical. This game stresses balance in a way that Dark Souls itself tries to explain, but I think it's more explicit in this game. That balance is the key. You can't just have... Like, Dark Souls is predicated upon the disparity between light and darkness. But this one stresses balance between the two, otherwise one gains supremacy over the other, much like Gyra and Seath themselves. So let's see what fresh hell we have come to uncover. That looks dangerous. I'm not going to touch that. There is a magic sphere. Port pad. This looks like Gulch. Dark Souls 2 veterans know what I'm talking about here. This looks like Poison Gulch. You can see that little bit of Z fighting back there with the shadows. Anyway, like I was saying, there's a layer cake thing going on with the ancient city. This was the place where the succumbed Ancient Ones fought against the Forest Folk. The Forest Folk, led by Lord Mew, won, but this poison, this rot, infected the water that was just above our heads. The seal, hoping to keep the dark sealed by the Ancient Ones. And you can see that up top with all of the green up there. The icon of water was supposed to keep things okay. Here's another jail for us. FromSoft loves their jails. We have a two-headed dog. Very Cerberus. Very rich. We can hear another piece of Lord Mew's armor. Cool, cool. Looks like there was a breakout. In the speed run, they just go straight through that. This is toxic water, and it will destroy your health bar. But the carrot speed run sells the clarity bracelet and like dumps all of the gold into healing grasses, and he just mashes the select button. No, you cannot pet the dog in Kingsfield 4. This definitely looks to be the more complete jail. I see. That's part of the demon set that we've been slowly collecting. I don't think I'm going to be using it because I run everywhere, but it's cool to grab. We've got a door here, which won't open. Not from this side. Muse necklace is keying off on a hidden door, so let's take a quick look-see. Surrounded by cockroaches is a dark crystal. I was just thinking to myself, that would be me if it locked behind me and I had to find a different way out. I hear some walking around, so... Oh, there we are. Haha. Some bones. Oh, that's right. That looks suspicious. Here we have our very last waypoint. Now, if you've been considering the colors, each of the colors is connected to a discipline of magic: fire, earth, light, and all the rest. This one, the one we just picked up, is associated with darkness. I am going to make a quick save state. Into the darkness. And another boss. Forest warriors. Banquet after a long silence. Whatever it is you're doing, I don't want it. And he's holding our very last wand. As well as a switch. Okay, looks like we are finished with the jail. Little jail portion. Doesn't seem like there's much. But we do have a violet guide stone, and we did see a guide stone location, so If you think you have to save, then you have to save. Okay, now we're all saved. Boss fight in the bag. The timer on these dogs is pretty short. I don't know why dogs need... Well, considering the medicine costs for my dog, yeah, these dogs need a lot of money. Looks like it's another golem covered in the same moss. Jessica, what's going on? How's it going? We just finished the little jail section, which gets us across a toxic a toxic puddle. Apparently the dogs are really good for leveling. So just in case you didn't realize that the infinite spawn of skeletons earlier was for leveling your sword, you can also level yourself up. Level cap in this game is 99, but you obviously don't need that much. I feel pretty comfortable in the mid-50s. Like, the skeletons don't carry that much gold. Skeletons of dragons. I think we have just grabbed every spell in the game. Because we were missing 3, and I think we just got all 3 of them. So remember, this is where a huge battle took place. And it pretty much blighted the land. But also, the filth comes upward. We have all of their golems as if they're like armored cores. Oh, that's fine. Hopefully you were able to catch up on YouTube. I just can't believe how black gulch this whole place is. And there's another piece of Muse armor. So... this is the Scorpion Sword. And these are implied to be Lord Muse bones. He probably destroyed this here bridge and then sat himself down to die. If we take a look at the sword, this is Scorpion. It's 150 slash. cursed sword that poisons both the user and the victim. Basically, this is the Chikage before the Chikage. It's definitely a YOLO sword. Look at how swank we are. We basically have pants now. Check that out. We are all decked out in Lord Muse wares. And yeah. Metal Gear. Since I believe, from having seen the speedrun, that leads to the boss of this section. So we're gonna head all the way back and save. Save this cyborg look we've got going on here. Eh. Okay, let's go back. We have all of Muse apparel. We have a level 3 MLS. We have dogs that headbutt like my dog. And we've got bolts and crossbows for days. These dogs can pay for my dog's heart medicine. Praise the darkness. The darkness is the truth. All of these gravestones say it. Praise the darkness. The darkness is the truth. Light shines upon all. Keep the light away. All of them but one says, praise the darkness. Gosh, I'm sad for you guys on YouTube. So here is the boss of this arena's nobody may pass here until the Dark One awakens. Alright. So here's the way I learned how to do this through the speed run. So this is your Tower Knight. Your Tower Knight fight of Kingsfield 4. Goodness. Just trying to get a beat on him. The boss is in the middle, actually, and what you want to do first is you want to get rid of these archers. These archers are lame. So that's two. There's three on each side. I could probably sword magic them, but a little preparation goes a long way. That's all I'm saying. So about this boss is our scythe wielding lady of this game. Honestly, for Elden Ring, I hope I can become the scythe wielding lady in that game. It's funny because the speedrun does this in the darkness. The Moonlight Sword dispels the darkness that's around here. And we level up. So, first things first. I'm gonna make a quick save state there. I'm gonna switch my equipment. Retake some MP. She lands behind you. She basically has Frida's moveset if Frida was... on the PS2. Keep missing her with my sword magic. And with that, she's gone. And what is open to us is something that looks very, very foreboding. For now, we're gonna save. She is the last boss before the final boss area. Just in case I, like, fall off of this thing. We'll see if the journal has anything to say about her. See if the journal has anything new to say. The forest folk fled after their defeat by the dark folk, some to the sea and others underground, leaving the corrupted city and vanishing from sight. The prince's banishment lifted, and he returned to the city. The door to the palace was opened again. During the confusion, the king was assassinated. Wait, what? The king of the forest folk forbade anyone to approach the Palace of Darkness deep beneath the new city. The prince entered and was banished. The prince's banishment lifted, and he returned to the city. The door to the palace was opened again. During the confusion, the king was assassinated. So, are we to take it that the prince manipulated the assassination of his own father? That's kind of nuts. It is said because Lord Mu killed countless monsters that his sword became cursed, and thus caused his own death. Yes, it became the scorpion. It still lies on the battlefield. Yeah, we have that now. It was forbidden for anyone to open the Palace of Darkness, but someone did. Since then, it has been under the protection by the Dark Succubus. That is who we just defeated. This was the forest folk's fort when they fought the Dark Folk. The Dark Knight has sought out strong opponents ever since he defeated Lord Mu. It was forbidden for anyone to open the Palace of Darkness, but someone did. Yeah, that was the prince. Alright, let me real quick refill my MP and that vial I used, and then we'll do the final stretch. And we finally get to hear the... Hey, Dark Evangel, what's going on? You made it just in time for us to hear the best song. It's great to have you here. Really should put down that violet waypoint down here. So I can just port down. We just defeated the Dark Succubus. She opened the way to the final area. I cowered it out, and I went to save. Oh, I didn't realize at all. Hey, Evangeline. We are as prepared as we are probably ever going to be. I am doing A-okay. Thinking we might actually finish this game today. Just in time for Elden Ring. We have one boss to go. And so, let's take a look at this place before we key off the cutscene. It kind of reminds me of the kiln, but not really. We have faceless statuary deep in the darkness. 4 different figures. Now, I'm not sure if they are the same character model or not, whether they depict the same person or not. Welcome to the final area of the game, the interior of the Dark One. Wow. Things are very... But we have made it out. This is like literally the interior of a person. I don't know if anything new. The fiercest battles fought took place deep in the city. When Lord New was defeated by the Dark Knight, the forest folk began to withdraw. So our goal, should we accept it, is that we have to get the uvula all enemies respawn indefinitely. You seek the darkness too? So every time you land a hit on the Dark One, he will drop you to the floor. Damn it. Getting to him is not that bad. It's just, getting out. Let's try that again. Wow. The Dark One should give those golems, like, a pay raise. If you can see him, he is in a throne, surrounded by what looks like that boss from Final Fantasy XII. Not 12, 10. The darkness that had covered the skies for countless years has finally ebbed into nothingness. A bright, cleansing light now bathes a healing land. The scars from eons of dark dominion will eventually heal, but the comfort of sunshine is more immediately felt by all. The cursed land has been cast into the abyss forever, sealed by the strength of the forest. Hi, Boletaria. Sup? Ballads of the ancient king and his mythic sword shall be sung by all worthy souls for ages to come. And that is Kingsfield 4, the Ancient City. Now, just as a note, just because it looked like Boletaria and I said hello, doesn't mean it's Boletaria. That is probably just a reference in Demon Souls. Original because they changed it in remake. In any case, it is a deeply desperate, deeply lonely story. Directors Rintaro Yamada, Satoru Yanagi, who are both not at FromSoft anymore. Producer Shinichiro Nishida, who has some credits on Bloodborne, and All Father's Inn as supervisors. If you do not have the Moonlight Sword and beat the Dark One, then you're used as a puppet and you propagate the Age of Dark in the Cursed Land. Kingsfield 4 stands alone in the Kingsfield canon. Kingsfield Additional 1 and 2 for the PlayStation Portable takes place within the world of Verdite rather than in this world. I wonder, and I'm only speculating, that Demon Souls was supposed to be a Kingsfield before development on that trashed. So I wonder if Demon Souls was supposed to take place within the world of Kingsfield, the ancient city. We'll probably never know. There's a joke about the font used here, I know. That's age text thing. FromSoft uses a different font. We don't know if they lived happily ever after. The good ending does say yes, they lived happily ever after. That the land was healing after being basically cursed for millennia. So yeah. As I was explaining earlier, there's a few different peoples. The ancient city is actually kind of more of a layer cake, kind of like Manhattan, where you have the ancient peoples who worship the darkness, who were consumed by the darkness and became the Dark One's minions. And they were sealed off by water, but Surak was desperate to save his forest folk that came in later and unsealed the thing. We also have the story of a prince who unsealed things too and assassinated his king. We have the tale of two kings, one who believed in magic and one who took a more measured approach. We have the worship of light, which ended up being just as bad as the worship of darkness. It'd be really interesting to put together a timeline of events that happens in Kingsfield 4, because it does seem like a lot. You have one prince who is assassinating his father after going into the Palace of Darkness. You have to kind of wonder if the prince was Surak Rezmash, because Surak Rezmash kind of suggests he unseals it in his desperation to save the forest folk. So I'm not sure how much of this is kind of the translation seems really good. It just seems unpolished. And that unpolished just kind of makes it really hard to understand. And then you have the cursed land that's above, because the filth rises to the top. When Surak pulled the icon of water began to take on the filth and the stagnation that was underneath it, which is the ancient battleground, the blood-soaked ancient battleground. Now, this is confirmed with the Scorpion sword, that Lord Mew killed so many people that it cursed him, and it cursed everybody else, and it became the Scorpion. In a way, that's kind of a smaller version of what's going on with the ancient battlegrounds. So much life was murdered, so snuffed out, so much blood, so much poison and toxicity, that it just kind of rises to the top. And once the icon of water was pulled, the water had nothing to do to churn it around. So that curse started emanating. The forest folk started dying. There's one earth folk person still left, and he's just hammering away at his thing. And you've got a need vigil, who is that's not what she's called in Japanese, but we'll just go with it for now. The water keeper. She seems to be the last forest folk person left. And then you have the humans, who are just kind of mining away, kind of minding their own business, but the toxicity, I mean to say, from the ancient battleground has risen so far up that it's risen to the surface, causing all of the miners who are just mining away looking for rocks of life, they don't really know what's underneath their feet, to start dying, to start becoming revenants, to start getting really sick and then throwing up. That's why the mine is the poison swamp. because you don't know what's going on with the miners, and they're just dying because the poison has gotten so far up that it is poisoning the mine, and it is killing all of these humans who dare to live around the cursed entrances to the ancient city. They probably have no idea what's going on right beneath their feet, and kind of sucks for them. Most of them, I think, die or could die at the end of it. I could talk a lot about Kingsfield, the Ancient City, but I'm glad I have finally been able to finish it after a long, unscheduled hiatus. And I'm glad I was able to finish it before Elden Ring. So, thank you everyone who kept up with this series, everyone on Twitch, everyone on YouTube. I look forward to talking more about Kingsfield, the Ancient City. I am at Twitter at Angel No Moon. I am on Twitch at Theomony, and link to my Discord will be all over my channel, or Twitch, or Twitter. However you get there, I would be so glad to have you guys. Thank you everyone who joined me today. I know there's a lot of things looking for your time on a Saturday, and you chose to spend even a little bit with me, and I'm very happy for it. Thank you everyone for joining with me for the conclusion, and I'll see you next time on Elden Ring. Bye everybody.